Okay, well, I just had the first execution in gold. I just got basically stopped out. What I did was I noticed the gap to the upside. It's a quite a meaningful gap, so I thought that after the close down, after we tag this daily area that I had here, it came, broke the low, and it hung around here. Then it came down again. So I shorted once it broke the low, but maybe I should have waited a little bit longer. But anyway, I think it was a good entry. I thought there would be continuation after this down close. But truth is that it wasn't the best close, really. Should have been, I would say, stronger or maybe close to the low instead of the rejection. But still, anyway, I'm taking it. I'm gonna continue to wait and let's see. So far, they both seems pretty quiet, so I'm gonna give it time. All right, so I just had my second trade I just took earlier. This is basically the overnight low that I have here. I decided to outline it and see what the market wants to do. I noticed first of all, the first bar is open within the daily area. They are daily high of yesterday's. So I was thinking like, okay, let's see how it behaves. So it seems pretty weak to the upside, which means to me failure. So then I had an inside bar at the open, and then it took the high, but then it wouldn't trade higher. So I decided to sell the low when this third bar came down. And what I'm actually thinking is it probably is gonna fail the gap. I don't know. This is just an anticipation based on my understanding of price, and I think it should fill the gap and definitely continue lower, maybe towards this low of the overnight. I think if it is to break down here and break these lows, I think it should get to this low here and also to yesterday's maybe value area, which is this high here. So I could definitely do something like this, something like that, and see what the market wants to do. So far, the risk is lower. That's actually I shorted there with one contract. It's about 100, but yeah, let's see if he wants to head down. If it well, but let's see what he wants to do. I'm just gonna sit and wait for now. Right. So I just had a third execution on gold. Nasdaq did fill the gap. This close is below this. Above this inside bar open price. I'm not sure now if it's gonna consolidate tank or what. What I'm doing here, this is a pretty good confirmation that the price actually might reject the downside and trades higher. So why I have this here? Because I do want to get long if I get stopped out there, like no question. I think these are really valid entries. So yeah. And then back to gold. What happened was gold started trading lower after it took the high of this bar, and then this bar trailed below the low again, came back, and then it started rejecting again quickly. So I short the low of this current fourth bar. And what I'm going for is basically this daily high here, this retest of this area. I don't want to really go any further. I think that's pretty a valid and good trade. So I'm gonna wait. I'm not gonna do anything else besides remaining in break even. I could definitely get stopped out like I've done a bunch of times. I want to see what NQ does. If it stops me out, of
Order
course, it's
filled.
gonna attack me in like I did now. I'm gonna use this bar as my low. I'm not gonna take any extra risk because if it is to trade higher, it should trade to above this maybe overnight high if it breaks this high here. So I'm gonna sit and wait. I'm gonna maybe let's see. I'm not sure if goal is to tag my take profit here. And Nasdaq, let's see if there's continuation. Like I said, I like the failure here after the gut feel. I reclaimed the upper part and closed above this previous bear inside bar. So let's see. I want to monitor. I want to see if there's continuation. If not, well, I'm not gonna do. All right, I actually got stopped out. This bar came back down and stopped me out on NQ at a decent loss. Sorry. Uh, and now what I'm doing basically, I'm waiting. This close was decent. Maybe not the best. It's still like somewhat overlapping within this range, but I want to see this bar retesting this inside bar again. And if it is to trade above this high, I want to long here and see if there is a continuation of this thing. But so far, I'm waiting here. I don't know if I did the right thing, but I decided to take a small risk on gold to see because it is possible. It is quite possible that it might retest this area here and then continue lower, but we'll see. Not sure. Oh, I think I got a little bit somewhat trigger. I think I chased a little bit on gold here, so I took extra losses here. And what I'm doing now, I know this is failure. So yeah, it seems like it's attempting to fill the gap, but it's not clean pretty much at all. So what I did was I just bought the continuation of this bar to the upside using his own low as my stop. Let's see what's gonna happen. And Nasdaq, I like this bar was somewhat turning into an inside bar, and then it closed below this previous bar, this up bar here, and below the low. So when it retested, I actually shorted here with two contracts there. Let's see if he wants to trade below this swing low here and close below it. And I don't know. It seems like it's not the cleanest day at all. So if there is rejection again from here, it is likely that the market is up to range pretty much. I don't know if the whole day, but eventually, yeah, at least for now. So let's see what happens from there. I actually took a short here on gold when this bar started rejecting here. I got stopped out pretty much at entry. and then this bar is 5 o'clock here, so it's getting volatile. This retested, it didn't stop me out there, and then it traded lower. So when it broke below entry and this bar low, I actually added another trade here, and I want to see if there is a further continuation to the gap side. I mean, the current gap is here, so it's quite far. It's like 80 points. I want to see if this bar respects its own high, and then it trades lower. And Nasdaq seems to hold below this below the gap, so I believe that it could be a further downside. Let's see if he wants to get to the value area of yesterday's. So far, I'm gonna let it be. I'm remain break even on Nasdaq. And gold, let's see. I want to see the low, the break of this low after this retest to the upside. And if it is to break, I think there should be some decent continuation to the downside. But like I said, it's not nothing is certain, so that's just an anticipation. I feel like the price was getting heavy really here, like it was dropping quite like intense for a couple of seconds, but so far it remains around entry. So let's see what it does from here. Well, my earlier entry in gold, I actually stopped myself manually, and then I noticed that it was not answering anymore, and it actually was coming back down nicely. And yeah, I shorted again. I think it was pretty much a mistake. I should have waited for this bar to close. So I have pretty much a smaller risk um, entry here and stop loss. But still, I'm actually quite standard already into drawdown. So I don't think this was one of those that did make no sense. NQ retested higher here, and now it's trading back lower. So I want to see, I don't know if how this bar is going to close, but I want to see if it breaks its own low. I think there should be more for the downside. So that's why I'm adding a new contract to this low here. And let's see if he wants to react to that or what he wants to do. All right, so I actually got a stop out and break
Order
even.
filled.
Left some profit there, but well, part of this, I guess. Yeah, I'm gonna see if this retest fails again to the downside. And if it fails, I wanna actually short again in this bar low, but I'm not 100% sure. So like, what is gonna happen? So what I did was gold. It actually closed nicely down here, and it retested then, and then it break its own low here. So that's why I added another contract. I want to see. I think I should see definitely, and of course I would like to see further downside, but it's not clean yet. So I will remove my risk as soon as price breaks this low here, and let's see if from there should be continuation or not. If it is to break the low and then fail, then well, it could be a break even trade or whatever. But so far if it gets somewhat in a decent profit around here, I'm gonna definitely remove my risk unless I get it stopped out soon. But let's see. Let's see Nasdaq also how it wants to react. It seems to be failing to the retest of this daily area again. So let's see if it breaks its low and tags me in. Okay, I'm gonna add the last hopefully update. Nasdaq definitely tagged me in here, and then also tagged me one more at the low of this bar here. And it was getting pretty heavy, both pretty much at the same time. First gold here came really strong, and then Nasdaq now it seems to be holding around here. So I want to see definitely that it tanks. If it does, after I added the trade here when it got tagged in the last contract, I also removed my risk. So I definitely am not gonna take any more extra like losses. I think it's been enough already. I do want to see if gold trades lower, and if it closes below this swing here, that will be actually great, because like I said, it was getting really heavy. So I want to see. I just want to monitor and let them both play. I have this value area as a target here, but I could definitely get out just at the overnight low on Nasdaq. But let's see what it does from now, and let's see what it goes. All right. Well, I don't know. I mean, of course, like after things are not going well, so I guess doubts comes in and everything. But yeah, gold is rejecting around this area, which is somewhat understandable. I want to see. It doesn't seem to be really strong, but let's see if he wants to somewhat find more strength to the downside. I'm not sure if it's gonna continue dropping or what, but yeah, so far I'm leaving some money on the table. I don't want to close the trade because not because I want to just kind of get what I lost, but I think they are showing weakness to the upside. So yep, what I'm intended in Nasdaq here after this particular testing, I don't know if it's gonna stop my earlier trading to break even. It could definitely, but I want to see if this bar, whatever, regardless of being an inside bar or not, if it trades below the low, I want to definitely continue shorting toward this direction, because it seems like the most likely direction to go, regardless of this trade working out or not. But I don't know, like it's not 100%. So I want to see what it does from here, and if you want to tax this trade or what it wants to do. Well, I guess what the price is doing is no way, Jose. My earlier trade didn't get stopped out, so this next bar, this was an inside bar, like I said earlier, and this bar started to trade lower quite strong. So I actually added still at the inside bar low, which is a good trade overall, regardless of this being stopped out or not. But yeah, I actually also reduced my risk to break even. because it just basically at the aggregate around here. I remain with the same target. Definitely, I would like to see tanking. I don't know if it's gonna happen, but definitely look at gold. Like this is just insane. It failed here, and now it's just well breaking the upside. So I'm not gonna do anything else on gold. I mean, it's yeah, not getting any cling for now. So just going up, and I don't want to chase this. So I'm gonna wait to see if Nasdaq wants to do its thing. I believe if it is to tank, it should respect this bar high. But if not, then no can do. Well, like I said earlier, well, again, money left on the table. Everything pretty much failed. I gotta stop starting break even Nasdaq, and this inside bar didn't have continuation. And actually, what it did was it just came and closed strong high. So this could be a trap here. So that's why I actually bought. I'm not married with any direction, so that's why I sometimes I buy, sometimes I sell. It's not like I'm chasing whatever, but to my understanding, it makes sense because well, it initially opened higher, then it traded lower, filled the gap. Now it seems to be failing below this gap here, so it might do not want to continue any lower. So yeah, I'm gonna let the trade be. This is most likely my last trade for today. I'm not gonna trade anymore. So if it has to be a red day or whatever it is from now, that's gonna be it. I'm not gonna chase gold. I don't like what is happening here, so I'm gonna let it be, and I'm gonna focus on my last trade on Nasdaq. I'm gonna wait to see if you don't want to break this high here, and if it breaks above, I'm just gonna well remove my risk from there. But so far, not the best day. But anyway, let's see. We have to just get better. Well, so a couple of things that I wanna mention. First, besides, well, this is actually a pretty good trade on Nasdaq. I noticed this. Remember, I think I said earlier, but I wanted to short this inside bar initially, and it wouldn't hold, and it was clearly rejecting the gap. So I literally just bought when this bar was came back up and break its own high, and I remain break even since then. Yeah, I was thinking that it might take this size here. So if it is to come higher, I'm probably just gonna edge somewhere like here. It doesn't matter really. But I think I noticed the retest volume is getting lower, so I like the fact that this bar does seem to respect anything to the downside. So yeah, I was planning to just take some measurements, but I actually didn't. I was busy here, so I kind of left away. I think this is pretty good range, like around 200 points. But yeah, after this price action happened, I was pretty much, like I said, busy here. So I think this was enough of probably a downside for the day. That's why I let the trade just run, and it just kept printing green bars pretty much all the way. So anyway, one thing that happened here in gold, I actually took a trade here. First of all, I believe it was what a second. I think it was yeah here this bar here. Uh, I noticed that it was an inside bar there, and it came lower, and it break its own high. So I actually bought the break of the inside bar after this strong price action. This volume is a big confirmation that if price wants to maybe trade higher. So yeah, it retested here. This is actually when I was noticing the retest. Well, this here, volume was pretty much drying all the way down on this retest of these bear bars. But yeah, and then I just entered here. It wouldn't hold, so I guess start. I remember, I think it was minus 50 or something like that, or 40, and the price just kept. Well, now it's just all the way, just kept going. But anyway, I don't. It's fine. I assume this risk when I enter, and yeah, it was still played out, but well, it wouldn't go anywhere before tagging testing the lows again, and then just going higher. So let's see. I want to see if NQ wants to tag. Definitely, I'm not gonna let this trade hit me. At a big loss. So if I am to take a red day, it will be around these lows here if I don't close it soon. So, but yeah, other than that, I think I assume too much throwdown. Like I got triggered many times, I would say, and then didn't take the best trade. I think my read towards the gap and everything it seems good, but I still have to work a lot into filtering because I'm not doing the best. I'm not doing the best in that sense. So yeah, that's something that definitely I have to work on, and let's see. I have to go and just get better basically. Okay, so whoa, it took it took a while from last video, but yeah, what happened here, like I said earlier, I believe I said so in the last execution that I had, or the second last. I noticed that yeah, this close was good. Like it seems like it wants to trade lower, but then next bar is an inside bar. I have seen this a bunch of times. And then the inside bar, I remember like I actually took a short because I was like, okay, maybe he wanted to tank. So yeah, it didn't do that. Then it came actually up. And remember, like I mentioned, this bar was rejecting off the inside bar after failing to the lows. and it broke its own high. That's actually when I bought here, and I just let it be for I don't know how long. I would say I think it was pretty much all this time until around here. Yeah, like over an hour, around an hour. I just didn't really pay attention to it. The thing is, funny enough, I came to the market around here. Yeah, around here when market just literally printed pretty much. I don't know how long, but since I entered, 45 minutes of just green bars all the way. This is definitely good, of course. But here, something funny happened to me. It was like I wasn't scared at all until I actually was watching the market, which is actually really weird. Anyway, at this point here, I was break even, of course. I was just letting the trade played out. And I noticed also here, like I was thinking, okay, the market already took a direction. It is likely to just, come and sweep the lows and come back up. And that's exactly what it did there. What happened here when the market traded down, failed, and then came up here? This bar here, it was not rejecting at all here. Not this one, not this one. So what I did was I added one contract around here. It was, yeah, around here. Then this bar came back down, didn't really do anything, took the low, and then came close higher. Then next bar is some sort of doji or whatever. It just didn't do anything, and then just kept going higher, higher. And then this bar here, I remember. For some reason, I was kind of getting scared. I almost got out here. Like it makes zero sense. Same here. At some point, I locked in some here. I let the price breathe a little bit, and yeah. Uh, why I exit there? It was basically this. I was not waiting for which, even though I think the price actually did take the high for almost nothing. It was the high was 217.00 and the high here is 217.75, so pretty much three quarters, and I just got swept basically. I don't know if it's gonna continue higher. It could definitely, but the point is I thought that it was a pretty logic exit point for me after this price direction was taken. And well, one thing good was that I noticed the value area was getting higher, so that's actually a pretty good sign of that the market is in agreement to the upside. I mean, at least I believe so. But yeah, I decided to have these notes here because I want to pay attention to, and this is something that I want to remember. So I'm gonna, of course, delete it now because I don't need it anymore. But I just want to see certain things. How was the overnight behaving compared to today's transaction and everything. Point is, yeah, at the end, it was a pretty great trade. I think it was like over 1.3K or something like that. I can't remember. But yeah, it was, what is it? Yeah, here, like 1K here, and also almost 240 in the add up that I added earlier. So yeah, but it was good. Execution otherwise, I think it was great. I identified the failure pretty well, and after the market well kind of started opening, fell to the high, then it came lower. I remember I was trading this, but when it fell, then it, well, again took a loss and it fell again. So I actually did the right thing by jumping with the longs. I think that was a good adaptation that I had there. One thing that came to my head today, actually, when I was working, was about yesterday, and I'm gonna come back to this. Where am I? Here, this is today's. Okay. What was it yesterday? One thing that I didn't pay attention to at first, but I'm gonna just remind myself of that. When the market was, it lost, I don't know how, like 500 points or something, and then recovered pretty much everything, and it opened somewhat near that, pretty much zero. I would say it was here when it opened. What was that I missed? I missed that besides the market gapping down and trading lower for quite a while, the current direction of the overnight range is higher. This is upward trend for this current day, which is basically, well, failed here, came all the way up. At the open, this might not mean overall anything, but at the open, of course, it affects the market. If I see, for example, like I said here, yes, it got higher, indecisive bar, traded lower, started tanking, nothing clear, and then start failing. This is important because what market is basically doing is pretty much continuation of this overnight price action. It could definitely, of course, tank, but my point is this is a somewhat of a nice indication that what the market is currently doing, which is trading higher. So it's quite possible that the section that is about to start, which was yesterday, could definitely be a continuation. It could not definitely. So it's just well, if somebody watches this video, you should go and do your own research. But basically, this is what I understand. Depends on if the overnight range is consolidating, and well, the section is gonna look in a different way. So yeah. But besides that, yeah, nothing else. I just wanted to remind myself of that. Market as well now is reacting of these heights after it took this daily high that I had outlined there, this area. But so far so good. I mean, I liked how I adapted to price today. I like well, not so happy about the fact that I had too much drawdown in my opinion. But besides that, well, I adapted well, and yeah, that's the good side of things. So yeah, I'm gonna let it be for today. I'm gonna just close it here, and tomorrow's gonna be a different day. Let's see.